In this session, we are going to discuss about the CSV data config. Means what is the meaning of CSV data config? In our JMeter performance testing, instead of using the hard-coded data, if we want to pull the dynamic data and the huge number of data from outside, like from the Excel, how we can do it. Okay, so we are going to learn that thing. Okay, for that purpose, let me open my JMeter. So this is my you can say JMeter project here. Test plan is there, and in the last session, as I told you, we have talked about the user defined variables here. So now we will do one thing. First of all, I will do one thing because I am going to cover the how to retrieve the test data from the CSV file. So for that purpose, let me do one thing. Let me comment these requests because I don't want to get so many requests here, and at the same time let me make one thread only and let me disable it. So whenever you want to disable any request and any particular element, you can right click on that and you have an option disable here. Okay, so now let me disable, and let me disable this thing also, this one. So now we have only one you can say sampler request that is enabled here, and in which you can say that we are using the this variable which we have last time used, but this variable these variables are coming from you can say this user defined variables. Okay, so I will do one thing. First of all, let me let's see that it's working fine or not. So let me do one thing. Let me clear everything from my this one, and now let me run it. So it is running. So now let me go to the tree view and we can see that okay, it is working fine. It is picking the data from here, and also it is generating the ID. It means it is working fine. So let me clear on that. And now let me do one thing. So instead of getting the data from the hard-coded data from the user-defined variable, I will get this data from the Excel, and also not a single data. We will try to fetch multiple set of data. Okay. So I can do one thing. I can delete this component, or I can do one thing. I can disable this component. Disabling means now this component is not available, and you will see that if I will try to run this code, you will see that it will throw the error on my this one here. You can say an error is simply like you can say that it is simple error that like it is not able to get the you can say it is not able to get the that says data here. Okay, so now let me do one thing. I will do one thing. I will pull the data from, let me first of all you can say clear everything from here. Okay, now what I'm going to do here in this way, I'm going to you can say run it. So for running it, I have already you can say variables are there, but variable is disabled. So now it means these variables are not no more exist here. So now you can see that we have an Excel file. So for that purpose, this is my one folder, and it contains a file API data.csv. So in JMeter we use the CSV file that is called comma separated file. So this is my file here. You can say let me open it. If I open this file, okay, let me open this and let me little bit increase the font here. So this is my file here, and here you can see that it contains the data like you can say this is my name, this is my age, and this is my you can say subject here. So we have the three data in the sequence. First data is name, then age, and then subject, and this sequence also matters. Okay, and how it matters, let me show you how it matters. So let me show you. For that purpose, let me simply go to this one, and if you want to read the data from the Excel, you have to add one more component here. So we want to apply that CSV data config for only the create student request. So let me make a right click here and let me add, and we are going to add a component that is called CSV data set config. Okay, so now with the help of this CSV data config, you can read the data from the Excel. First of all, you have to give the path of here. So I will select browse, and this is my Pradeep data, and the name of the file is this is pradeep data.csv. So let me select this file and let me open it up. I've selected the file here. Okay, now I have selected the file here. After that, you have to give the variable names. What is the meaning of variable name? Is whatever it will read the data, it will read the data of these columns, one, second, and third column. So you have to give the variable name as per the logical data sequence. So this is my name. First is name, then age, and then subject. Okay, that is my logical data. So I will create the variable in the same way. Like first variable I will create name, second I will create age, and third I will create subject. Okay, you can give any name. You can give any name here in this variable section. But why I'm using this variable name? Because in my request I'm using the same variable name, age, subject. Okay, I'm using the same variable, but now this variable were previously available in the this you can say this disabled user defined variable section, but now I'm not using it. So I'm creating you can say, oh, let me do one thing, let me delete this thing, that will be good, let me delete it. Okay, so that you should guys should not be confused. Now CSV data config sorry, user defined variable do not exist here. Okay, so it means there is nothing variable like age, name, subject here. But in my CSV data config, what I'm doing it, I'm using same variable, age, name and subject. Okay, you can use any variable name, but only thing is that whenever whatever variable name you are using it here, same variable name you have to use in my request section. So that's why I'm using the variable name. So age, name, subject, same I'm using it here. Okay, so now how it works, this first variable read the first column, second variable read the second column, and third variable called the third column. It will do automatically. Now after that, you can say that you have given the file name, you have given this one, and now we'll come to this point. This what is the purpose of this one? Ignore first line only if variable name is not empty. It means whenever I will show you the example when it should be used, and rest of the things you can just let as it is and let me save it. Okay, so here I want to show you one thing, that we have only one user, so it will read only one data. Okay, so let me show you one thing also. Like I have one user and this is my tree. So now let me run the code here. So it is running and you can see that it is getting the data from the, you can say that Excel 35 Pradeep and soap here. You can see that the first data is Pradeep 35 soap here. Second data is Soumya. But why it is not picking the second data? Because we have only one user. Okay, so now let me do one thing, let me clear it, and now let me increase the number of users. So it means if I'm going to create the 5 users here, 5 thread here. Okay, so what will happen, these 5 users, for these 5 users, it will go to the CSV file and will read the individual data, first for first user, second for second user, and third for third user. Now let me go here and now let me again run it, and this time you will see that it will fire, it will trigger 5 requests. And for first one, this is the data. Second, if you click on that, you can data is 22 Soumya Selenium. Third data is 22 Rahul Selenium. Fourth data, in this way it is actually fetching the data here. Okay, so now you can say same time, if you see the response also, this data is actually passed to the, you can say API also. So we are getting the IDs from, you can say 84 to 88. So if you want to check it, let me show it here. So okay, I have removed that part here, I have removed that part here, so that's why it is not available here. So okay, no worries, no worries, I can show you again. I can copy the this URL and it will be easy for you. So now let me paste it here, and ID was what was the ID? I just forget here. The ID was 1488. So let me start from the maximum. 1488, 1488, 1488. You can see that record is created. The record is 35 Pradeep Shrob. So you can go and check it here. What is the data for that? 35. This one, if I go to this one here, it is 34 pile JMeter, and ID is if you see that ID is 87. So let me verify. I don't need to verify, but still let me show you, because again I'm saying that everything is on my local, so I don't need to. So here you can say 148734 file. So record are created. It means with the help of CSV data config, you have to configure the file name and you have to give the variable name. The name of the variable should be in the same sequence you are getting the data here. Now second thing is that whenever you get the CSV file here, you have seen that mostly what happens that they also provide the header also. So let me add one thing. Let me insert one data record here, and I'm just putting a name here. This is name. Okay, and this is it is not mandatory that you are giving the same header name. It can be anything. Name is subject. Okay, now but what is the problem here now when I'm giving this header on my Excel file, and if you will try to run this code, if you will try to run this code, what will happen, it will treat this header as also a record. It will treat it as a record. So now let me show you what will happen. So for that purpose, let me do one thing. Let me clear the records here, and now let me run it here again. So whenever it is running in, let me click on the here. So you can say failure, sorry, unable to add this student. Okay, and for rest of the things it is working. Reason is that for first, what is the problem? Because it is just fetching the first two data. For name it is okay, it is a string. Okay, for subject it is okay, it is a string. But for the age column, it is fetching the age. Age is a header name, that is a string format. It is expecting a integer value. That's why it is giving the error here. So now how we can set the CSV file data set config so that it can ignore the first row. It can consider the first row as a header. So for that purpose, you can do one thing. You have an option here, ignore first line only if variable name is not empty. So now let me do one thing. Let me this one and let me make it true here. So now I'm making it true, and now let me save it, and now let me again run. So for that purpose, let me first of all again delete this one, and now let me run it here. So when I'm running it here, you can say that from first, now from first it is picking the data. You want to see the data, let me show you 35, then you can say second, then third, then fourth, and then fifth. This is picking the data in the same sequence. So if you have a header in your Excel, so in that case you have to select this one, that is true. And this is delimiter if you are using any you can say data which is you can say separated by tab. Okay, in that case you can use the this one delimiter. So currently it is, you can say, comma. Okay, you have to put slash t. By default it is comma because we are using CSV. Okay, now you can see that one of the important thing is that here you can say recycle on end of the file, that is true, and here stop thread on end of the file, that is false. Okay, so here you can say what is the meaning of that. uh, Here you can say, for example, how many test data we have. You can say we have 9 set of data. Okay, from this one we have 9 or 8 set of data. And now let me do one thing. Let me first of all clear the this data here, and now let me increase the number of threads. So suppose take the example, I am increasing the number of threads to 15. Okay, definitely it is going to create a lots of record in my database, but yeah, for the explanation purpose I need to do it. So I have created 15. It means 15 requests should be triggered. So now just see that I'm triggering 15 requests, but how many days data? We have very less data, less than 15. Okay, so now just see that what it's going to do. Let me click on that, and now let me run it. So when I'm going to run it, so you can say that how many requests are generated. You can say it is generating the, you can say this is in the table view, you can easily see that we have 50 samples, we have 15 samples. So what is happening? It means we have only you can say eight set of data. We have only 8 set of data. One is header, so we have only 8 set of data, but I need to run 15 requests. So what is happening? Automatically, because it is written here, recycle on end of the file, means if your data is completed but you have a records there, you can recycle. That's why it is given the true. It should be maximally, it should be true whenever you have a less record. If you make it false, what will happen? If you make it false, it means when you can say it will not recycle end of the file, and you will not get the data here. Now I hope you got this point, and if you have any type of query, you can put in the comment of this video. And in the next session we are talk about some other interesting thing of the JMeter. Thank you.